we are going to do this sub segment of the XR Remix mixtape, XR Remix podcast, where we're discussing something very specific today in VR. And we're coming up on a 1 year anniversary, or we might be around that, of the PSVR2. Marty and I both copped those things day one, ready, took out the Horizon bundles and snapped on some headsets, and we were so excited. So now we're checking in a year later about where we are. So we got Marty Dude online. You want to do one quick intro for yourself?
Shout out. It's me, Marty VR, man. We back at it. Shout out.
My
Shout out
man-
Legendary Tales, man. We in here. We in here.
We're
man,
not talking
playing
about
all the
Legendary
PSVR
Tales.
games.
If you want to know
Shout
what the Legendary Tales drama is, just check out Marty Dude VR's Twitter, X, or whatever. He's got completely ripped 8 new ones for
it's about time,
asking whether or not Legendary Tales was worth $55. He's not. It's just unclear. So we'll get to that because there are some game stuff that I do want to cover in today's discussion. But I want to start off with also a quick intro for me. Hey, call me Clay. Find me on Twitch and 100% lover of VR all around. So talking about the PSVR 2, what's the last thing you've played on the PSVR 2, Marty?
I think my last thing was Barbarian. I picked up Barbarian.
How long ago was that?
It's about 2 weeks ago, I think.
You are a better man than I. You are 100% better man. Do you know the last time I touched my PSVR 2 was to test the black levels in Cosmodread just to see if I wanted to buy Arizona Sunshine 2 on the PSVR 2 versus PC. I want to be scared in VR, and I have a whole other thing about the black levels in PSVR 2. That was the last time I touched it, and everything else I've played on PC or Quest Native. And
was that like November? Was that November, December?
Might have been, around that. When did I start Arizona Sunshine? Must have been November, before Christmas. It was the holiday season. Because I made a quick pivot. So how are you feeling about your PSVR 2? How regularly do you put yours on? Because I know that mine's kind of collecting dust. But what about yours?
If I had to say, probably like a percentage of time between like my Quest and my PSVR, I would say probably right now I'm probably 60% on my Quest and then 40% on my PSVR.
Wow.
Because I'm going back and I'm like just knocking out some of my backlog for like games. So like
that is big.
Trying to wrap up Crossfire. I got picked up Barbarian because the dev sent me a key.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give them a video. What's that? Cactus Jack. It's a cactus game. It's really fun. It's really interesting. I'm actually do a video on that too. Cactus Warfare. Thank you, Zordon. Thank you.
We do have Zordon in our ear, so if you hear any weird pauses, we're talking to our producer Zordon in the back.
Shout out Mike in the background.
Ignore the man behind the curtain for now.
Yeah, but in the past like 2 months, I picked up a good few games.
That's amazing. Yeah,
and Dead Hook too.
And Dead Hook. How are you finding all this time to play video games?
Bro, look, man, I make it work. I ain't gonna lie, it's been hard. Like last night, I had to like stay up like late just finishing Undercover, but review more anyway.
Okay, Underdogs.
No, Undercover.
Undercover.
It's a Quest game, but
okay. Man, geez, first off, I clearly am not in the circle of trust that everyone else is. But shout out to you. What are these games? Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So I recently looked on the Wikipedia page. If you look up the Wikipedia page for PSVR 2, it claims that there are currently and upcoming around 248 titles coming to or on the PSVR 2, which is a lot, right? And it's a lot generally for VR. I think if you were to ask anybody who just the common person, how many games exist on some of these platforms, they're not going to think of 200 games. No one can think of 200 games that are on any of these VR platforms.
Yeah,
11 of those are labeled as exclusives. And it kind of begs the question, what is the Sony strategy for PSVR 2, right? Like, what are your thoughts here? And I will share that I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks. And I think that my headline has always been, Sony is working on they've created a baseline VR product that they're really happy with, that will generally get sales for the VR enthusiast crowd. And to support that on a software perspective, they're just land grabbing everything else that already exists, right? Hence, we
Yeah.
saw the latest State of Play had the Metro Awakening trailer, which looked really good, followed by Marty's favorite game, Legendary Tales.
Legendary Tales, man.
So
Ah,
when you
it was
see
so
things
good.
like, hey, there's all these games that are out there, most of them are on other platforms. 11 of them, Sony has had some sort of buy-in to make it an exclusive. Where do we think the Sony strategy sits in the future of the PSVR2?
I ain't gonna lie, I've been thinking about this for like a while,
Mm,
and it's like I think after RE4, that's when things kind of clicked for me because I was
mm,
like, I'm watching like it was like it sucked. Even though I'm part of the crowd, technically, it was like watching Quest get like all these like big releases, all these marketing campaigns. They got the meta ambassadors going crazy with content for like Asgard's Wrath 2, for
yes.
Assassin's Creed Next. I don't know if you missed that, but whatever. I think Sony right now is just trying to put games on the platform,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not trying to push like VR gaming, if that makes sense. So
Mm,
like
mm.
they'll have like a dead hook come to PSVR2. Just say, we have it. They'll have like a Legendary Tales, or even what's the game? What's that flight game that came out? Ultra Wings.
Oh
Or like
yeah.
a game like Ultra Wings. Like they'll have these different games come to the platform, but it's not like Meta where they're trying to push like XR as a whole,
We're
like
trying to push like
push it forward.
VR, right?
Yeah, trying to push
Yeah.
it forward. Sony's like, yeah, we got it. We want to, like it's like having a store. Like we got cookies. We got we got cookies over here. You want some? You don't got to, but they over here.
Yeah, but
But
if you want these exclusive cookies, I got the exclusive
yeah,
with this. I hear you. It's kind
because
of like
11 exclusives is pretty impressive in a year. Like just for like first year, that's decently impressive. But I think what people
let's
really
call it
wanted
10.
was
One was
those
on the
10.
TBD list,
Okay,
but
okay.
yeah, but okay. So in theory, 10 exclusives, of which I've played 4 of them. Yeah, Call of the Mountain. No, 3 of them. Call of the Mountain, Synapse, Resident Evil 8.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Um, and so that's actually, yeah, you're right. When you frame it up that way, it's not so
yeah,
bad to have like 10 or 11 exclusives to it.
yeah,
And to your point, I've also been thinking about it because when the PSVR2 first came out, one of the narratives was Sony's going to save VR. Sony and Valve are going to be best friends, right? We're going to get Alex. We have our producer just really rubbing his
oh
eyes right
man,
now in the background. You guys
no.
can't see this. I'm going to give you
Why
the
were people
visual version of
saying
that.
that? Oh man,
Valve, Sony are going to come together, have a baby. It's going to be the VR savior, the Jesus of VR is,
yeah, I
is
don't know how you put
is
that.
now
Oh,
here, and I think people are let down. I think we had that high expectation that we're going to get these high power graphics, right? PC quality things. We were running this off of a PS5, and we're going to get Alex,
yeah.
and it's
I
going
don't
to
know why
save
people
VR.
think that. I don't
I
get
don't
it.
know why people thought that
I
either.
don't get it.
Um, and what's hard about it is that it feels like the market was supposed to be everybody was going to start getting PS5s, and the common man was going to get PSVR2s, and we're going to save VR. But the reality is it's not quite panned out that way.
Yeah,
The audience in my mind has the ideal PSVR2 audience in my mind has been people who are still early in VR and just
yeah,
happen to have a PS5. Not
yeah,
and the enthusiasts, like the people in the room, right? The people in the
yeah,
room like us are like, I'm going to get one. I got to see how it compares. Same folks who bought a Vision Pro. And so knowing that the market moved away from everybody to people who have a PS5 who might be interested in VR. And our producer's in the back showing how empty his wallet is right now. Um, it's makes me think, okay, was the strategy to reach the masses, or was the strategy just to
I
just
think the
land grab?
strategy. I think the strategy was to get to those PSVR1 people. I really do, because
Interesting.
like they've been, people PSVR1. I can't talk. PSVR1 people have
Marty
been
just
wanting to
came
do
off of work.
headsets.
We just
Yeah,
was like, Marty, you got
I
to get
got
on this
COVID brain.
call.
I'm fried. I'm not gonna lie. Jesus Christ, it was rough. But um, the PSVR1 people wanted a new headset. They're like, we want a new headset, we want better graphics. They gave it to them. Now, a lot of the people who have kind of been like comments, like the reviews that I'm putting out, are like newer people. So like December, I dropped like accessory videos, stuff like that, PSVR2. A lot of people who came to that video were like, "Hey, I just got a PSVR. You know, thanks. I found your video, XYZ." So I think they are getting new people, but to me, I think Sony's superpower at some point is going to be the flat to VR games. It's like the
Okay.
RE8s, the
Yeah.
RE4s, the Ultra Wings. People wait on that. Project Wingman, stuff like that. I don't think their solo VR exclusives are going to be the selling point for the platform.
You know what? I think you might be right. And it's something that came up in our other full-fledged XR Remix podcast. Go check that out if you haven't. Is maybe that is the strategy, right? Maybe the strategy is I'm going to cater to new people who happen to have a PS5 and to make development easier, quotes, you're the dev here, I'm the marketer guy, right? To make it easier, I'm just going to add a VR mode to all of my games. And theoretically, that could work, right? Sony has an abundance of studios where they could make that happen for some of their like newer releases. Do we feel like that's sustainable at all? That one I haven't quite thought through because coupling VR modes to everything else feels good. However, I don't know if it leads to growth. But then again, maybe that's not Sony's strategy. The reason I bring that up is I know that Gamertag VR on Twitter posted about RE4 numbers, and it was less than 1% of people who played RE4 played it in VR. Less than 1%. That's
and that was
nothing.
hype too. That was like one of those like most hype games of, like last year.
Yeah.
That was telling.
And then outside of that, this is not PSVR2 related, but the CEO of Ubisoft, also if you need the POV on that one, check out Live Open Mic's thought piece on the recent talk about that, where the CEO of Ubisoft essentially claimed that the Assassin's Creed Nexus numbers were disappointing. In my mind, I'm wondering, are we just setting up really bad expectations for the success of VR? And maybe Sony is trying to find a way to just ease the pain? Maybe.
Because because people got to realize, most people like at least like the Quest and the PlayStation, they're serving two different markets in my mind. Because I mean, these Quest is more people who want like a $200 to $300 affordable gaming experience, whether they be hooking up to the PC or just keeping it standalone, however they enjoy it. PlayStation is serving people who want, and I always say this, close to a PC VR experience without buying a PC.
Yeah.
So like they're not gonna have somebody who, and that's a lot of times why both sides are so split, because even like PC VR and Quest is always back and forth. PC master race or or Quest, that it's too expensive, or I don't need all that. Just give me something simple. And then so I think for PSVR, I think I don't really to this day I can't tell you who the market is for the console, because I mean it's kind of hard to tell from what they've been marketing. Like, because it's not like they want people to. It's not for me. It's not like they're saying, okay, if you have a Quest, put that down, pick up this pick up this PS5 and this PSVR2, come over here with us. It's more like if you don't have any VR headsets or you just have a PS5, you have a PS5, just come hang out with us. That's what the marketing says to me.
Right.
So, but nobody from Sony talks. So
yeah. You sound salty. You okay?
I am. Yes, I am very salty, bro. Because it's like Meta has ambassadors, they got chairmen, they got spokespeople.
What do you mean? Just ambassadors? Sony sent out all those Pokeballs to everybody when the PSVR2 came out. I mean, what's happening to those dudes?
They don't make content for it. They have made content for that in legitimately a year since it released. There was an unboxing for most people. They might have played FNAF on it, maybe.
Call them out for like 2 streams, right?
And then after that, it was like
it was done. So Sony has a very niche market. VR is already niche, but in theory, Sony's niche is even more so. they're not supporting it with marketing like they used to. And while 10 exclusives for the first year is actually pretty impressive, um, a lot of the legwork weren't from, I don't believe, and I'll have to check this, I don't believe a lot of the legwork was done by the Sony studios. A lot of the dev work was done maybe by some of the others, right? So it kind of begs the question, especially knowing that it's not a priority, right? I think the who was it? One of their global leads mentioned that it wasn't a priority. Like the PSVR2 wasn't a
Yeah,
priority. That
yeah, he said that.
PS5 was still their priority, but
Yeah,
PSVR2 is still an important phase here. I know what JDun's going to ask you: is
yeah.
PSVR2 dead?
I mean, to some people it might be. Like, if somebody says that, that's why I like when Jadon says that. I
Yeah.
don't get upset or anything. I'm like,
He said it a
it
lot.
look
He
like
took
it.
advantage of the fact that you weren't
Yeah,
at the last podcast, and he ripped. He was like, Clay,
yeah.
you the only one here.
Dog, he was crazy. I was like, yeah, I can't say nothing, man. As Apple, because you see how like companies like Apple,
Hmm.
Meta, how they're doing it for like VR space, how they're putting on. But like Sony is like next to radio silent about a lot of
Yeah,
the VR stuff. You might
yeah.
get a trailer here and there that might look cool, but other than that,
I know, I know,
I
and
don't see
then
nothing,
and
man.
I'm excited for the new Metro game, but
Yeah.
again, it's not an exclusive, right? There's no real reason to get on the PSVR2 unless I
Oh my
already own the
god.
PSVR2, or I'm new to VR and I'm exploring an entry point. Um,
Dog, we found out that wasn't an exclusive, bro.
what?
When people found out that wasn't an exclusive to PSVR2, Twitter was hell that day. I swear to God. Bro, they were like, why even buy this thing? I said, I don't know, man.
I
Because you
know,
wasn't with VR.
it was kind of because I thought it was an exclusive, and then I remember texting you guys in our chat in our group chat, and they're like, no, 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 it's coming to every platform.
It's coming to every platform. I was like,
So Sony just
bruh.
advertised getting VR somewhere else,
Yes, man.
right? So to kind of wrap up the thinking in my mind, and I don't have an answer to this, so this is why we're kind of talking is if PSVR2 is dead, and I'm sure if this gets posted to TikTok or something, we're gonna totally get reamed out, just like Marty did today with his Legendary Tales tweet. But if this is the open, we're totally gonna get shredded here. If PSVR2 is dead, what will revive it? What brings this platform back to life? And it's like we should put like the Jeopardy song over this because we really have to think through this one.
you gotta think.
You
Yeah, I
know?
honestly, I think just Sony showing they care will put a lot. Okay, a roadmap. That's what I said in my video for my
Mm,
last video. A roadmap. We need a
mm.
roadmap,
Give
man.
us hope.
Like give us something. Like let me know like what. Let me know why I bought this $500 headset, man.
I know.
For some reason, like am I getting like exclusive this year? A UI update maybe? Something
Hmm.
like the UI been the same since like
I'm
something.
with you. I love the idea of a roadmap, and I love the idea of having them be something other than radio silent, right? Show that there's still
Yeah.
some level of excitement because sometimes it could feel like they conned us into buying this. Like, hey, this is going to be the future of VR. Here's this huge marketing push. We're going to give everybody this, and then they disappeared after 3 or 4 months, and we haven't really
Yeah.
heard much, except for Resident Evil 4. VR was the last big like promotional VR push I think I really remember coming
Yeah.
from
They push
Sony.
that all year. They push that more than like Synapse, more
Yes, they
than
did. They did, right?
some solid titles. Like I was
So
like, wow.
we need a roadmap, and I completely agree with you. And I think we need something to just give it some life, whether it is some additional marketing pushes, some excitement from creators, maybe something similar to an ambassador program. But as of right now, I've lost a little bit of faith. Will I play my PSVR2 with Resident Evil 4 VR mode? Absolutely. That's going to be one of the next games that I bring to my
Oh, it's
Twitch
fun. It's
channel.
great. It's great.
Um, I'm a lot slower than everybody else. Okay. Our producers in the back, like, yes,
Mike, like,
yes, but it takes you twice as
yeah.
long. Fun fact: Vertigo is not Vertigo. Arizona Sunshine 2 was supposed to take me 4.5 hours. You beat it in under 5, right, Marty?
I think I beat it at like 5.5.
15 hours for me. Took me 15 hours.
What were you doing?
I was playing the game. I was
Clay,
enjoying the game and its nook and cranny.
Clay, how? What were you like?
Not
Did
how.
you?
Why were you rushing? Is the question you we need
No,
to.
I was just going through. I was like, I was having fun. 15 hours?
15 hours, start to finish. Now, this was a stream game, so there is something we call a streamer tax, which is
Oh yeah,
you
true,
get
true.
people
Yeah.
on there, you're talking, there's things that happen. So, you know. So
I did stream it
our
too. Yeah,
producer
like,
did
sorry.
whisper in our ears that Marty also streamed it. So this is a me issue, apparently.
Yeah, I streamed it like what session?
Yeah, right. Just strike this
Oh
from the
man.
record completely. So yeah, I think it would be just give me. I think the answer is give me a reason to only buy a PlayStation VR2, right? Not just VR, but I need them to give me a reason that I need to spend more time in this headset. I mean, we've even heard, and looking back at some old articles, it's notoriously hard to get through these VR checks that Sony imposes on developers, to the point where some devs aren't even using the features that were promoted. Like, how many games use foveated rendering and eye tracking?
Oh,
Ooh,
not as many as it
two?
should.
You know, Synapse and Call of the Mountain, everything
Yeah.
else, the standard issue. So it kind of diminishes the value of the PSVR2 because it's like, what's special about it if no one's using it? So is it dead? Maybe not completely, but is it on life support? Yeah, and I think that Sony needs to make some big moves to make it feel good to own one of these. So
Yeah,
that's
because
my
even like, and then the
my
flops don't
piece.
help either, man. The flops really don't help. Like
What are some of your
Bulletstorm.
what are your favorite flops?
Oh, Bulletstorm. I enjoyed tearing that game up. Oh my god, nah, I enjoyed that review. I had
This
fun
is a
on that
shout
one.
out to Marty Dude VR. He
Oh my
gets free
god.
keys and will still rip your game to shreds. So if
Oh
you
yeah, I
want
don't care.
real
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Because my thing is like, if you're they charge how much they charge for that game? It was like 40, 50. It
40,
was 40,
40.
40 for that, bro. I could have bought legendary. I could
He
have
could
bought
have
something else.
got a Legendary Tales discount.
Yeah, like it's like because I play a lot of games. I play like VR, I play non-VR. Like I just bought Banishers. I
Yeah.
like Helldivers. So like when I'm thinking of like VR games like pricing wise, I'm thinking, okay, if I had $40 to spend on this, what else could I buy on PlayStation Store or even like Steam or anything like that that equals up to that price I can value. So like um Bulletstorm, yeah, no, that was not nowhere near. I would have probably paid like $10 for that, but I probably still would have been mad about that $10 too. Not gonna lie. But you know, that's like
As he
my
says with a
creed.
straight face, he's like, "No, I'd have been mad. I'd have been mad
I
about
was
my ten
mad, man.
dollars."
I was so mad. If I would pay for that, y'all, ooh, I would have aired about. I'm not gonna lie,
Oh my
I would have aired
gosh!
about.
Please check out Marty Dude's rant on Bulletstorm VR on
Oh,
his channel on YouTube.
Firewall Ultra was a good one.
Mm.
Yeah, Hell
Hell
Sweeper was a
Sweeper.
good one. Hell Sweeper was sad. I ain't gonna lie, I was sad because I really wanted that to be good because it's a good game, but it's just that was not it.
Did they? I didn't play Hell Sweeper on a PSVR. Did they strip the whole backflipping stuff from it?
No, so like everything mechanically and like gameplay wise was there. So like even in
Okay.
the review I said it's still it's a fun game, but it was like so blurry that it was like giving motion sickness, and so like
Oh, the
it
reprojection.
was like looking through a microwave while playing while playing the game.
That's
So
awful.
like, yeah, it was bad. I just Crossfire too. Yeah.
They can't hear you, right, Mike? When this recording. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat it. So I love having a producer. It makes me feel like wow. This just in. Our producer is doing some research and stated that on the Hell Sweeper version of PSVR2 version, that it's by default the backflipping is turned off and the user has to opt in to experience the amazingness of motion sickness. Is what I'm hearing. So yes, that's how the fast way to get it done. So yeah, that's I think that we is still undecided. We have hope. We want the best. We're hoping for a good year, 2024 for PSVR2.
Yeah, we need it.
No more flops, please, and let's get some more exclusives. And I think we'll generally feel better.
Yeah.
That's my
Because
piece.
Bulletstorm hurt a lot of people, man. That hurt a lot of people. Like There's people still like in my comments to this day, like making new comments, like, "What is this?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I know, right?"
Why are you like
Yes.
this? Okay, cool. I think that we're done. Any closing thoughts and anything that you are looking forward to for your PSVR2 in 2024?
Uh, give me more games, more exclusives, a roadmap, UI
Yeah.
changes, please, Sony. But other than that, what you got?
Yeah, for me, I am looking forward to Metro Awakening. I really love the
Yeah.
initial series. So looking forward to that and hoping that we can get some more exclusives. And I'm going to give PSVR 2 a really good college try again this year. It's a little bit tricky to stream sometimes with it just because chat integration is not quite there. So any other things that will help with content creation, chat integration, um, but yeah, I'm excited for that to help revive this platform. So, with that, thank you all for joining us for this little snippet episode of the XR Remix. We're going to be out. Catch us on the channel and then look out next month for another podcast episode from the full crew.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Peace.